Welcome back to Chance Explorers. This week, we're exploring some of Ireland's most fascinating and historic places as we wrap up the final chapter of our Ireland adventure before heading across the water to Scotland. Our journey begins at the legendary Leap Castle, widely known as Ireland's most haunted castle. With centuries of history, tales of betrayal, and stories of restless spirits, it's the perfect place to start this unforgettable day. From there, we visit the iconic Rock of Cashel, one of Ireland's most breathtaking historic landmarks, before exploring the impressive Cahir Castle, a medieval fortress that has stood guard over the countryside for hundreds of years. Next, we make our way to the ancient Rock of Dunamase, where dramatic ruins overlook the Irish landscape and remind us of the powerful kingdoms that once ruled here. Finally, we end our Ireland journey at the peaceful and often overlooked Baltinglass Abbey, a hidden gem filled with history, character, and a fitting place to reflect on everything we've experienced during our time on the Emerald Isle. From haunted castles and medieval fortresses to ancient ruins and forgotten abbeys, this episode is packed with history, mystery, and adventure. And when this journey ends, a brand new one begins as we leave Ireland behind and set our sights on Scotland.
This is what is called the Bloody Chapel. Now, to give a little bit of history of this place, it was built in the 13th century by the O'Carroll clan, who were the chieftains over the land around here. And they were kind of a brutal family. Of course, people are always coming to steal cattle and to take over lands, but they were known for their brutality. So there's a lot of dark history with the fighting and the murders. There's actually in this building, and we should come across, it's called an oubliette. Now the oubliette basically was a pit that had a trap door, and they would open up that trap door and their enemies would fall down in it. Now on the bottom of the trap door there were spikes, and so they would fall onto those spikes. They would either starve to death or they would die on the spikes. Now, they didn't discover that until the 19th or to the 20th century, in the early 1900s, the oubliette. But the Bloody Chapel in particular is probably the most haunted place in this castle. After the chieftain died of the O'Carroll clan, this was in the early 1530s, I would say, two brothers were fighting to see who would become the chieftain. Now, one brother was a priest, and the other brother was not. And this is where they had a chapel here in the castle, and the brother who was a priest was presiding over Mass. The other brother came in and killed him during Mass. So obviously a murder is bad enough, but when you have a murder during a holy service like Mass, it's definitely going to draw in those darker spirits. Now also in this castle they say there is an elemental spirit. An elemental spirit is a darker, more sinister spirit, probably tied to all the darkness and the brutality as well as a murder that was here in the castle. So if you come across an elemental spirit, you're definitely going to feel more of like a darker presence, heavier. So you have to be careful, really careful of the elemental spirits especially. But the history here is quite something, and not only is Rock Castle known as the most haunted place in Ireland, many people say it's the most haunted place in the entire world. That's how haunted this specific place is. And I couldn't be more excited to be here. I've watched documentaries, it's been on ghost shows. I love my little ghost adventures, shout out, and they've been here. So we're really looking forward to looking around Rock Castle. Yes. Wow. So we have found the oubliette. It is actually in the Bloody Chapel at the very end. So I'm going to put the flashlight down there so Kimball can see. Down there is where they would throw their enemies. So there would be a trap door here. And then down here, they would have the wooden spikes that they would fall onto. So again, they would either be killed by the bloody spikes, or they would starve to death, and it wouldn't kill them, and they would starve to death. But when they did the renovations, no, I'm not going to go down there. But when they did the renovations, they actually found skeletons, like bones and skeletons that were still on the wooden spikes.
I bought this in 1991. This was just a shed. This was destroyed during the Irish Civil War back in 1922. All these stores were bombed out by the IRA and it was burned down.
Really?
And it was left then just as a crumbling shell for 69 years. We bought it in 91. Early 94 I began restoring, and that's what I've been doing. Now I've been doing this almost entirely on my own. So it's a long, slow process, as you can imagine. Now when I did have big beams like those, to go up, two friends of mine helped me to get those up. I doubt if Paul Bunyan would get those up on his own. But we live in it now a little over 21 years. Well, this is our business. We're open to the public. Well, the people that contribute, it goes to the fund for the restoration. Well, our ultimate goal when we bought it was to live in it, and we're living in it a little over 21 years.
Yeah. That's
so
amazing.
We've achieved what we set out to do. It's 700 years old.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
Either ghosts or hauntings. There are many spirits in the house. No, we've never felt threatened by it. They've never interfered with us or made life difficult in any way, other than they let us know they're here and that.
So behind me, we have the Rock of Cashel. It's also known as St. Patrick's Rock. Now, this is probably one of the most iconic sites in all of Ireland, and it has great significance to the country because it is said that in 450 AD, St. Patrick came here to this very site and converted the king of Munster, Munster, to Christianity. That was in 450 AD, so that was a very, very long time ago. Now at that time still, there was not, of course, they didn't build the grand cathedral or anything like that at this time. It's set pretty much just as a rock until it was in 1101. The king of Munster at that time decided to gift it to the Catholic Church. So that is when construction of the sites were built. It was actually, 2 of the buildings were built in the 1100s and then 1 was built in the 1300s. Then a very sad history as well. In the year 1647, during the Cromwell takeover basically of Ireland, there was a lot of, there's a big war I guess going on, and Cromwell of England was trying to take over Ireland because they wanted to turn it Protestant. Ireland was still a very, very Catholic country and they were Protestant. There were a lot of wars and because of that, but in 1647 they came here to the Rock where there were clergymen as well as civilians up here on top of the rock trying to avoid getting massacred, but it didn't work, unfortunately. Cromwell's forces came to this rock. They were in the cathedral, I think specifically in the chapel, hiding out, and Cromwell's forces came here and massacred them all. So legend says to this day there are still the ghosts of some of those clergymen and to some of the civilians that were massacred at this rock. So that's the basic history of the Rock of Cashel, or St. Patrick's Rock, here in Ireland. So we are here at Cahir Castle in Cahir, Ireland. It's just a little bit, maybe about 20-30 minutes max south of the Rock of Cashel. We spent the night here last night. It was a wonderful little non-touristy town. We listened to some trad music at a pub and had a great time, made some friends. But anyway, so this is the famous Cahir Castle. It's very large. It's actually one of the largest medieval castles to be preserved in Ireland. It's kind of massive. I don't think we've actually seen one this large yet. But its origins go back about 900 years when it was a ring fort called a Cahir. I think that's how you say it. And that's how the town and the castle got its name, Cahir, Cahir. Then the O'Briens in the 13th century extended it and then kind of built it to what you see today, the structure that you see today. And that's kind of all I know about this castle. We're gonna go in, tour around, and maybe we'll learn some more and let you guys know. Lots of parties, lots of politicking probably around the banquet table. Maybe the dungeons, I don't know. Oh, yes. Oh, scary. Oh, my goodness, gravies. Wow. Okay. We're gonna go over here. More another gate area. Huh? Yeah, that's why your mama was in 411.
During the 9 Years' War, the Earl of Essex led the largest English army ever seen in Ireland to besiege Cahir Castle. A fortress then considered invincible, Essex brought heavy artillery to bear against the ancient stone. After a 3-day bombardment, the castle walls were breached, prompting the Irish garrison to flee under the cover of night. At least 80 escaping defenders were brutally slaughtered along the River Suir by English forces.
Very cool.
Visitors can still see a cannonball embedded in the northeast tower today.
So we have discovered the Rock of Dunamase. We were just driving along to a different destination, saw a sign, turned off, and ended up here. But it's really pretty cool. It's obviously a very popular place here in this area because there's lots of people around. But this was a fortified fortress back in the 9th century for the area. And then it was attacked by Vikings, and then it was attacked by the Normans, and so it saw a lot of attacks. And that's really kind of all the history that we know about this place, but it's really something. Over here we have the ruins of the Great Hall, and then if you look down this way you can see the remains of the gates that were there, probably with big tall towers as well. But it's really pretty cool. Just something that we came across, and you got to do that sometimes. You just have to find something, and you see something you might find interesting and stop. And there's beautiful hills of the countryside from up here because it sits up on a outcropping of rocks up here. Quintessential Ireland off in the background here. Lovely, just lovely. So we are here at Baltinglass Abbey. This abbey was founded in 1148, and it was founded by the Cistercian monks, basically as a site for monks to live and worship and do prayers and basically whatever monks do. But it was an active monastery or an abbey until 1536, when that gosh darn Henry VIII enacted the treaty, or the rules that said that all Irish Catholic abbeys and monasteries were going to be done away with. And so it was, and therefore it ended at that time, and that was the end of this abbey, unfortunately. So we have King Henry VIII to thank for a lot of these ruins here in Ireland, even though they're very beautiful. And Kimla and I have found that we really enjoy exploring the abbey ruins because there's something really special about them. It's really sad, that happened. And if it hadn't have been for, Henry VIII getting mad at the Catholic Church for the Pope not granting him the right to divorce Catherine of Aragon and Mary Anne Boleyn, these monasteries would have existed much longer than that. So thanks, King Henry VIII.
Well, that's a wrap on our Ireland adventure. Over the past week, we've explored haunted castles, ancient ruins, rugged coastlines, hidden abbeys, small towns, and more history than we could have imagined. Every day seemed to bring something completely different, and that's one of the things we loved most about Ireland. What we'll remember most isn't just the incredible places we visited. It's the unexpected moments along the way, the quiet roads, conversations with locals, the places we stumbled on by accident, and those views that made us pull over just to take it all in. Ireland gave us everything we were hoping for: history, adventure, amazing scenery, and memories we'll never forget. It was the perfect way to start this journey, but we're just getting started. In 2 weeks, we'll begin sharing our Scotland adventure, and somehow things get even more interesting. There are more castles, more incredible landscapes, more hidden gems, and roads that made us realize Ireland had actually been easing us into things. We thought the roads couldn't get any skinnier than they were in Ireland. Scotland looked at that challenge and said, "Hold my beer." Over the next 2 weeks, we'll be exploring the Highlands, remote villages, dramatic coastlines, historic towns, and some truly unforgettable places that completely blew us away. We can't wait to share it all with you. Thank you for following along with us through Ireland. We appreciate every view, every comment, and every one of you who chose to come along for the adventure. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks as the Scotland series begins. Until then, keep exploring.